The Deathly Hallows are said to be 3 of the most powerful items within the wizarding world, formed by Death himself, consisting of the Elder Wand, the Resurrection Stone, and the Cloak of Invisibility. But wait, hold up! Is the embodiment of Death actually real? Are these items really so powerful that an unexplainable entity is the only explanation for their creation? Oh, that kind of rhymed. I'm not so sure. Hello, I'm Isaac from Watso Videos, where we discuss fun topics for fun people. And today, I'd like to discuss whether or not Death created the Deathly Hallows. If you would like to learn more about the Deathly Hallows in preparation for the crimes of Grindelwald, I have provided all the links to the Harry Potter movies and the resources I used in the description. And to continue discussing theories with me, make sure to subscribe and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Now, let's go to the theory. Sorry, interjected Harry, but Death spoke to them? And Hermione's response was, "It's a fairy tale, Harry." Right, sorry, go on. End quote. The Tale of the Three Brothers is read from the collection of wizard bedtime stories, The Tales of Beedle the Bard, which are widely considered to be fantasy, shown through Hermione referencing them as a fairy tale. In this widely considered fictional story, the three Peveril brothers outwit the entity Death by building a bridge over a dangerous river, cause you know that's all it takes to beat Death. And for their brilliance, Death grants each of the brothers a gift. One received the Elder Wand, one the Resurrection Stone, and the last received the Cloak of Invisibility. Now, this is probably my favorite Deathly Hallow, not because I would walk around invisible. I don't have any use for that. I think it would just be hilarious to make a blanket fort with an invisibility cloak, because then it'd be a secret fort. But that wasn't really its intended use. This story was considered to be simply fiction by most wizards, but there was some truth to the tale. "So it's true?" asked Harry. "All of it? The Peveril brothers?" "Were the three brothers of the tale," said Dumbledore, nodding. And then he continued on. "Oh yes, I think so. Whether they met on a lonely road, I think it more likely that the Peveril brothers were simply gifted, dangerous wizards who succeeded in creating those powerful objects. The story of them being Death's own hollows seems to me the sort of legend that might have sprung up around such creations." End quote. The Deathly Hallows we know from the Tale of the Three Brothers exist within the wizarding world, but much of the legend behind their creation and their encounter with Death himself is considered to be fictitious by both Hermione and Professor Dumbledore. They didn't believe in the embodiment of Death, and there is little to no evidence showing he really exists. In all of the Harry Potter canon, there are no other encounters with Death, which doesn't really make sense. If Death was angered by wizards avoiding the ends of their lives, wouldn't you think he would have been upset about Voldemort creating Horcruxes and being revived? Or maybe when Harry survived the killing curse twice? It just seems like if Death would confront wizards over creating a bridge, he may have spoken to some other wizards and their more phenomenal feats of surviving Death. I mean, Death is supposed to have respected Ignatus, who welcomed Death, so maybe he didn't see a reason to continue confronting wizards anymore. But either way, we have very little evidence to show he exists, even when looking at the items he was stated to have created. See, all of the Deathly Hallows could be created by wizards, insanely gifted and skilled wizards, but wizards nonetheless. If the Deathly Hallows possessed no flaws or weaknesses, or were formed with materials that weren't accessible by the wizarding world, then maybe a being like Death would have needed to have been present during the creation of these powerful items. But that wasn't the case. First, there's the Elder Wand, which was said to be the most powerful wand in existence and was given to Antioch Peveril. The wand's power does seem to be proven when Harry Potter uses this hollow to fix his unfixable wand, but other than that feat, there are really no other supernatural abilities to the wand outside of the fable. I mean, I think it's more powerful than mine, but I'm pretty sure mine's just a stick. See, the Elder Wand is composed of rare, powerful materials. Its wood is that of the Elder Tree, which has trouble remaining an owner to anyone who is not the superior wizard, and has a core of Thestral Tail, which is said to be a tricky substance that only wizards that master Death can control. The Elder Wand is one of the most powerful and unstable wands in the world, but nothing seems to indicate it couldn't be derived from an especially skilled wand maker. In addition to the Elder Wand's potential to be created by wizards, the truth is, like every other wand in existence, it's not the wand that is the source of all of a spell's magic, but in a large part, the wizard behind it. Dumbledore's comments in his copy of the Tales of Beedle the Bard supports this notion. He explains, every man who claims to have owned the Elder Wand has insisted that it is unbeatable, when the known fact of its passage through many owners' hands demonstrates that not only has it been beaten hundreds of times, but that it also attracts trouble as Grumble the Grubby Goat attracted flies. End quote. Dumbledore pretty much just said the Elder Wand is overhyped, and even proved it by defeating Grindelwald and the Elder Wand, showing it is not all powerful. The Elder Wand could have been fabricated by mortal wizards, since we know all of the materials are accessible, and it definitely is a wand that can be bested with a skilled wizard against it. Thus, the Elder Wand may not have needed to have been built by death. Next, let's look at the Resurrection Stone, which was said to be able to allow the user to communicate and see the dead again, and was granted to Cadmus Peveril. This Deathly Hallow had an ability that is similar to the use of Priori Incantatem, otherwise known as the Reverse Spell. Remember when Harry and Voldemort's wands were paired against one another and their connecting spells created all these like blue ghosts and everything? Well, that was the reverse spell, and this is an important moment when discussing the Resurrection Stone. The reverse spell releases an echo of previous spells conducted by each wand, and in the case of Voldemort's killing curse, the echo was the living spirits of the deceased, which were similar to the Resurrection Stone spirits, except more powerful. While Harry could only communicate with his friends and family from beyond the grave using the Resurrection Stone, when they were brought back to Harry using the reverse spell, they also had the ability to disorientate the Dark Lord. Thus, again, we see that speaking with the dead is within a wizard's grasp and does not require a supernatural figure like death to exist. Thus, if I was going to choose a magical stone to beat death, I would have definitely chosen the Sorcerer's Stone to keep me alive with its elixir of life. And last, but certainly not least, we have the Cloak of Invisibility, which was originally under the possession of Ignatus Peveril. Am I gone? Have I disappeared? Even though my blanket can't make me go invisible, at least I know I can always spread magic with my Watso Videos merch at watsostore.com. The Cloak of Invisibility is said to be a more perfect cloak, for it couldn't be damaged over time and provided the best invisibility. The thing is though, this isn't a huge leap from other invisibility cloaks of the day, especially when we know of physical items being enchanted not to wear over time, like Hogwarts. Extremely skilled wizards could create this cloak. Furthermore, this is supported by the wearer of the invisibility cloak's ability to be detected. The Cloak of Invisibility was said to be the cloak of Death himself, and once Ignatus put it on, even Death could not find him. Which makes no sense when Alastor Moody's Magic Eye, the Marauder's Map, the Dementor's Nagini, the Human Presence Revealing Spell, or stepping on a twig loudly all can locate a person within the cloak just fine. If a mystical entity like Death, who created the Deathly Hallows, couldn't locate Ignatus when there are so many different ways to do so, I really just don't understand that. The Cloak of Invisibility was the superior cloak in the wizarding world, but it still possessed flaws suggesting it was man-made. We have no evidence of Death's encounters with wizards beyond the Three Brothers legends, so it's difficult to believe he ever encountered the Peveril Brothers. In addition, each of the Deathly Hallows do possess unprecedented abilities, but each one is also flawed or weak in their designs, and are only created using objects known to the wizarding world, which means the entity of Death wouldn't have necessarily needed to have fabricated the Deathly Hallows. Like Dumbledore suggests, it is more likely the Peveril Brothers each developed these extremely powerful, revolutionary objects to fulfill their desires. In my opinion, I think these fantastic wizards used their brilliance and gifts to create a wand, a stone, and a cloak, which many believed would have only been brought about by a being like Death. If you enjoyed theorizing on the Deathly Hallows, then click that like button, and if you are interested in staying up to date with more magical Harry Potter videos, then click that subscribe button and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. So now it's time for the question of the day, sponsored by my patrons. Do you think Death created the Deathly Hallows? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section, along with any other ideas you have for future Harry Potter videos. If you'd like to see more What's Up videos, then check out some awesome pics over here. And as always, thanks for watching and have a magical day.